I would say the biggest Power BI growing pain I had when I first started out was understanding the difference between fact and dimension tables and kind of how to structure your data model. Obviously, a Power BI report is only as good as its data model. So when you have data coming from a lot of different sources and you have dimensions mixed in with facts, it can be really confusing to figure out what the best way is to split that up. So I would say that was probably the biggest growing pain I had. It's kind of a difficult concept to understand as a beginner. If I could go back in time, things I would tell myself would be to consolidate your Power Query steps. When you're in there and doing work in Power Query, it's very easy to just keep applying steps and not paying any attention to the amount of steps that you're taking to get to your desired result. And ultimately, this just slows down the table and slows down the model. So trying to consolidate those steps as best as possible will definitely serve you in the future. Another thing I wish I knew was the correct formatting for DAX with all the different indentations and the right amount of space to use for each. Makes things a lot easier to understand and read when you're working with DAX. So DAX formatting is definitely something that beginners should look up and figure out early on. It just makes things a lot easier. Another neat trick that I found out later on was the importance of measure tables. So measure tables are a great way to organize your measures and keep them in one place. When I first started out, I had all my measures in a bunch of different tables and it was really hard to find things. And then once I figured out how to do measure tables, it became a lot more clear and organized of where everything was and just made working in Power BI a lot easier. There's plenty of resources out there for anyone to become a pro at Power BI. I am completely self-taught when it comes to Power BI, and I learned almost everything I know from Google or YouTube, Power BI forums online, even DAX books. It does take a lot of time though, so having a training as an option and having pros tell you how to use Power BI and tell you all the possible issues you can run into and explain the more difficult concepts to you, that would have been very helpful for me and would have saved me a lot of pain along the way. For people who want to learn more about Power BI but don't necessarily want to take the time that is needed to teach yourself, I would highly recommend doing one of Collectiv's Power BI trainings. All the instructors are very knowledgeable and they're also very kind and patient. So if you feel like something is taking you a little bit longer than everyone else, that doesn't matter. You can go at your own pace and they will be patient with you the whole way and make sure that you succeed.